Are y'all ready to get this started?
Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Sit your ass down and get ready for the next episode of the Urban Green Room. The Urban Green Room. With your hosts, my girl AA and that dude D. Lewis.
Hey world, it's your girl AA.
What's up, world? It's your man D. Lewis.
And welcome to another episode of the Urban Green Room podcast. So before we introduce our guests, this is a very important conversation for me. And I guess I'm letting you guys into my world just a little bit. I don't know what to say. What else should I?
No, this is a special conversation, as you said, but it's very, very personal because we have a very special guest tonight that we're introducing to the Green Room podcast. But we're just getting in touch with this person, and it's so amazing. This story is so amazing. So, okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. Can I put it out there?
Go ahead.
So AA found out through contact with Nay. Nay reached out to her a few months back, and they found out that they're sisters, and they never knew that. So we're along this exciting journey, especially those two, and trying to get to know each other and familiarize themselves with each other's families. So it's just been a great ride. So
welcome, Nay.
Hi, Nay.
Thank you for having me.
Hello,
hello,
are more than welcome. Thank you for joining us.
And this is the first time I'm actually seeing Nay. So hi, sis. Nice to meet you.
I've been very selfish.
Yeah, she's stingy like that.
I am. Nay, we're gonna sort of tell them the journey that I guess we can start with you, because it all started with the outreach that you had through social media. So if you don't mind telling us how this all came about.
Okay. Actually, I guess the curiosity started maybe when I was in my mid-teens. I had always been curious as to who my dad was. I really didn't have a lot of information to go on. So as a child, I always thought that, me trying to find out who he was, it was going to cost too much for me to search for him. Because like I said, I really didn't have anything to go on other than just the first name. I was speaking to one of my family members who encouraged me to seek out and take a DNA test. And this was a couple of years ago. And I kind of threw her off because I said, no. I said, I don't think I want to do that, because I guess I wanted to know, but I didn't want to know. So she just kept, over the years, she just kept pressing the issue. So I said, you know what? I said, let me go ahead and take it. So I ordered the DNA test. I took it. I knew it was going to come back in a couple of weeks. And when I got it, I got kind of nervous. So the first one I got, they said that I messed that one up. So then I had to send it back again. So it's like the curiosity is like, okay, now I have to wait again another 6 to 8 weeks. So when they sent me the second test, I took that one, I sent it in, and I didn't expect to get the results back until later the summer of 2020. So when I got the test results back, I opened it up and I was like, I guess my palms were sweaty, because it's like, okay, here they are, the anxiety of, just wondering whether or not I was going to find out what I needed to find out. And like I said, I had always wondered who my dad was, let alone, whether or not I had other siblings as well, because I had very, very little to go off of. So upon me taking the test and getting the results back, I reached out to probably hundreds of people that came up with close matches to me, trying to eliminate the ones who were actually on my side of the family versus on my dad's side of the family. So it took me maybe about a month or so, a little longer, to go through the process of eliminating people from my actual side of the family and his side of the family. There were 3 individuals on that DNA test that came in close proximity to, DNA, and I had excluded those people from actually being on my side of the family. So, like I said, I had reached out to probably about a good 200-300 people, just sending random messages, because at first I got discouraged and I wasn't getting any, response back to the people who I was sending messages to. I could see that the people were reading the messages, but they wouldn't respond. So I reached out to my cousin again, and she was like, what did you find out? And I guess I got discouraged because I could actually see the people reading the messages, but they wouldn't respond. So she said, well, don't let that discourage you. She said, because that's how they're going to do, because they don't know you either. So they're just as afraid to give you the information that you're looking for, not knowing who you are. So I stopped for a couple of weeks, and then I got back on it again. And I was determined to find out, those individuals that I had reached out to, because it was 3 that really, that really was at the front of it for me to find out the information. I still wasn't getting any response back. And one individual, maybe about a month later, reached out to me, and we communicated through that network where we was, where I submitted the DNA test to. And we had a conversation. I told him my side of the story. He exchanged a few things, but like I said, still not giving me a lot of information. So when I gave him my side of the story, I guess he felt a little more comfortable with telling me a lot of stuff, because, in his head as a child, when he was growing up, I guess someone had told him that story as well. And he knew that my dad was in the state of Maryland at that particular time. So we just talked more and more. And finally, we exchanged numbers, because I said, well, we're not really getting anywhere going back and forth, me anticipating every day of logging on, hoping that this person was answering my questions. And I could see that once again, he was reading them, and it would take him another week and a half to respond. So, I just asked him if we could exchange phone numbers, because we would from each other. So he agreed, and we actually started communicating on the phone. We went over the story again. He said, I'm going to send you a picture. He asked me if I had any idea of what he looked like. And I told him, I said, I have no clue. I said, because, when my mom had gotten pregnant at an early age, she had no idea that she was even pregnant. So when she found out that she was pregnant, by the time she went to go look for our father, he had went back to New York. So I had no name to go off of, no last name. I just had a first name. So we talked more. We talked a couple of times. And after that, he said, well, I'm going to send you a picture. He said, share the picture with your mom and see if she recognizes him. So he sent me the picture, and I sent it to my mother, and immediately she said, that's him. And we talked more, and then the individual who reached out to me through the network told me that I do have siblings, and that was exciting to know, because it was the anticipation. And as we talked, that's when he did tell me that my father was deceased, and I was hoping for, I guess, a better outcome. But for me, it was kind of like closure when he informed me that I had 2 siblings, you know, it was kind of like, okay, do I want to stop here or do I want to continue, meaning meet the siblings? So I guess he left it at that because that's what I wasn't giving him the impression that I wanted to meet them, but then I pushed a little more and, you know, a couple of weeks went by and I will never forget it. It was during the summer and I was going somewhere and my phone rang. And I was like, I said, I don't know who that is. So he had given my sister my phone number and she left a message. And I immediately was like, I was shocked. I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was nervous. And I was like, my mouth was just like wide open. So when I got home, I was like, okay, do I call her? Is it too late? Do I text her back? How do I respond? Because, you know, keep in mind, I'm almost 47. So going 47 years without knowing that you even had a sibling, it was shocking. I'm not going to say it was shocking to me, but, you know, I always, anybody can tell you, I always said, I wish I had a sister, you know, and unfortunately, you know, Suyani, she's the older, but, you know, once I got past that and she reached out to me, I felt comfortable with knowing, you know, because me and her had a chance to talk about some of the things, you know, and I expressed to her and told her, you know, the story, because of course, you know, like I said, no one knew about me. So that's pretty much, you know, in every sense.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I'm going to tell you guys, when our cousin Sierra reached out to me. So I got to go back just a little bit. My dad's family is huge. And even when I talked to Dee about our father's side of the family, I had just told him yesterday, like, I know the first wave of grandchildren. Like, I know who they are. I know the first 15, right? But because there's so many grandchildren, there's like a second wave, a third wave, and a fourth wave, and probably a fifth wave. Meaning, by the time I was a teenager, there were a new group of babies. By the time I was in my 20s, there was another group of babies. So I only knew the core 15, first 15 grandchildren. After that, because I was so much older, I didn't know all of, you know, the grandchildren, which I felt bad because by that time I had moved out of New York and really only kept in touch with the core 15. With that being said, I received a call from one of my cousins who is like, I guess the second or third group of cousins. Now I knew her and I was very close to her because her dad is our dad's brother, and I'm very close to him. So Sierra calls me and she said, hey, Daryl wants to talk to you. Now I knew who Daryl was. Again, I'm at least 20 years older than Daryl. Daryl wants to call me. I'm like, okay, tell Daryl to call me. At this moment, because I said, Sierra, what is it about? He's like, Daryl wants to talk to you himself. He doesn't want me to tell you anything. Soon as she said that, I was like, they found one of my siblings. I knew it in my heart at that moment. So I sat there by the phone, and usually my phone is always on silent. Like it will never ring out loud unless I'm waiting for a call and I don't want to miss it. I turn the ringer on. I'm like, they found a sibling. I knew as a teenager, there were more of us out there only because I knew how our father operated. He was a ladies' man. He traveled. I knew somewhere out there, one day, someone was going to come looking for me. And to me, I always thought it'd be a guy, because we have one brother, but we have step brothers, because our father had been married several times. So I knew, like, with that, there were more of us. Like, he had more children. So waited for Daryl's call. Daryl finally calls, because I called Daryl and he didn't pick up. So I said, I'm going to wait for him to call me. He finally calls me. He tells me this beautiful story of, like, he was contacted. He did the investigating for me. He was like, I'm pretty sure that this is your sister. Everything matches up. And he was like, do you want to call her? And I was like, yes. Did she say it was okay? I want to call her. And then I'm looking at D and I'm like, I got a sister. I want to know who she is. I need to call her. I want to do it right now. And then I took a deep breath and I was like, okay, just make the call. Because I sat there looking at the phone for about an hour and a half. And I was just like, I don't know if she's ready. I don't know if she wants from me just yet. Like, this is all happening probably really fast for her. And I don't want to scare her at all. So I finally called and I left a message. And then I just waited. And then it was, I think I text messaged you too, Nay. Mm-hmm. And I did. I was like, whenever you're ready, I just wanted to reach out to you. I had found out that possibly be my sister. I wanted. And that was the beginning. Because the one thing I think me and Nay both agreed on is, once you know, you can't unknow that you have a sibling out there. And that was the first step, is now we know, and what do we do with it? And I was excited because I've always wanted a sister. Now, with that being said, we do have a stepsister. And she's adorable. However, I wanted my sister. And it had never come across to me. Not once did I think that I had a sister. I always thought I had brothers. And here Nay is. And I was so excited. And then I was like, I'm going to scare her off. So, why don't you got questions for us? Because this is a lot.
Yeah, it's still a lot for me to take in, actually. Yeah, I it's weird because I was there when you found out. You mentioned it to me and you weren't sure whether you should call her or not. I was like, yeah, you call her. And it was, especially when you started telling more of the story as to how Nay, it was you who did all the investigation to come to this conclusion. And I said, well, you gotta call her, like, to make it official and really see. And I was pleasantly surprised the welcoming of each other that you two gave once you guys did end up talking about some things and coming to the conclusion that, yes, you guys do have the same father. I got a question though. So what was that moment like for you two when you actually first talked and then, come to the same conclusion that you guys have the same dad? What were you two feeling at that moment? If I could go back in time, I swear I'd do it all differently. I love you, Tracy.
From the author that brought you the groundbreaking series, The 716, author A.A. Lewis is back with The Last Letter.
I'll go. I cried. I had always wanted. That was the first thing. I cried. I didn't feel like there was, like, I could tell her all about our father. I didn't know how real I could make him for her. I cried because I knew she missed out on having her own memory. I cried because I didn't want Nay to feel like she missed out on this incredible experience of having him in her life. And I could tell her all these things, but I knew deep down inside, she was going to feel like she missed out on something. And I was never going to be able to fill that void for her. But I cried because I knew that moving forward, I would do my best to make her feel welcome. Something that I think had our dad been alive, he would have done. If I know for a fact, if he knew that you were out there, we would have known about each other the moment we would have grew up together. Let's just put it that way. I would have been in Maryland. You would have been in New York. We would have always had time with each other. And those were things that I, once you know, and then I'm happy, but then I'm sad because I'm like, oh my God, how do I make all this work? And then I wasn't even sure if that was something that.
Well, for me, I guess I was nervous when I got home that evening and I wanted to call her. I was nervous because I guess I feared, whether or not I would have rejection, because some people don't take, certain news, they don't take it lightly. They may reject you. They may not, they may not want to talk to you. So I guess the first conversation that I had with her that night, it was just as if, we had known each other for years, the conversations that we had, the things that we talked about. And it made me think about, I have an older sister. And I guess the thought of me being nervous, it was gone. It went out the window because she made me feel like, she was trying to share as many memories as she possibly could because, there were questions that I had that I wanted to know. And then some things I didn't want to know because I felt like, I don't have those memories of my own for myself personally. And I guess that's the most thing that hurt is because, he didn't know. But, talking to her that night, it just made me feel better and better. It's like each second counted. Okay, I think we spent about 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours on the phone. So that made me feel like, okay, this is really happening. Like she said, when I found out about her and she found out about me, I could have very well said, well, I want to, closure for me is finding out what I needed to find out. That's it. But it was a scary feeling along with the feeling that made me happy because it was like, okay, we're both going to go through this together, learning each other, just trying to get to know each other, and just basically just trying to pretty much feel each other out. she made me feel very comfortable with asking, any questions that I had pertaining to our dad. And, we've talked, about other things. There's some other questions that I have, but, they don't come out because, I don't have those memories for myself because I didn't grow up with him. And, she did. She has her own personal memories. So it's just, having her is just as, she's close to me. I just feel like, having a sibling, she just made me feel comfortable. After I talked to her several times, it's just like, I know her. She just made me feel comfortable. Like I could tell her anything. She welcomed me. Like I said, we exchanged information. And I've just been comfortable with saying, telling people on my side of the family, hey, I have a sister. Because originally when I first found out, pretty much everybody in my family found out. Because I don't keep, some things you keep private and some things you just don't. Because they was like, they would call me, did you find out? Did you find out? And I'm like, yeah. It was like, do you got a sister? Do you got any sisters? I'm like, yeah. They was trying to get it out of me. But I'm like, in due time, y'all will meet her. Y'all just like, let us share these moments together. And then you bring in the family members because it is a lot, after 47, 48 years, finding out that you have a sibling. It's a lot to take in.
I could imagine. So it sounds like, the two of you were a little conflicted. I mean, we were happy and excited that you guys found each other, but at the same time, there was a little bit of a sadness too. But Nay, for you that, you didn't get a chance to experience guys, AA being empathetic to you for that. So you guys hit it off when you talked. And so how are things with you guys today? Or actually, hold on, let me back up with that. I don't want to get to today yet. Was it easy for you guys after you connected? I know you hit it off. So how has the relationship been, guys, till now? And so we know Nay's whole family pretty much knows she has a sister. Hey, what about your family? How are they dealing with this? Are you okay talking about that or? Okay.
Oh yeah. So again, I'm selfish. So I did tell our brother. I didn't get a response, but I had to explain to Nay that's typical. That's typical. You got to give him a moment. Got to give him a moment.
Yeah, and that moment is like a couple years.
No. Just got to give him a moment. But I told him, and what I had shared with Nay was, I'm so happy that you met me first. Because our brother's an acquired taste. Doesn't mean that he won't come around. What it meant is I didn't want it to deter her from continuing on this journey of meeting her. So the other thing is, I got excited. I told all the aunts. I called a family meeting. Half of them couldn't join because they didn't know how to work technology. So I got on the phone with them individually and I said, hey, listen, this is what I found out. This is what I believe. And I want you to know. And a few people, not just the aunts, but older cousins and things, and were a little skeptical at first. And I was like, I'm not. I said, and you guys know who your brother was. You knew how he operated. I believe that this is. And I said, everything adds up. Everything. And I said, this is my sister. And I said, what I do know is that our Father would want me to make this right. So after I said like all of that to them, I guess for the very first time, they actually stopped looking at me as the baby and said, okay, now you sound like your dad. So, and you getting on my nerves with how, like, because I became defensive. And I was like, first of all, it's not that he knew. That's the issue. He did not know, because his family, Lord knows they have kids and they claim kids. That's a part of pride for them. And I think our Father would have been very prideful in knowing that he had another child and you would have been brought in. And I said, and he's not here to do that. So I'm going to do it. Like, that's my responsibility, to make sure everyone knows. I was sad because I found out right after his mom had passed. So I didn't get a chance to share this with her, but I took it to the oldest of her children first, and then let it cascade down. Now I talk about you. Well, I talk about Nay all the time with family. Like just recently on Saturday with our oldest cousin, talk about her all the time, because it's important that I make you real to them. Like one day when COVID is done, you're going to meet them. Like that's the next step, is make sure they know who you are. Whether or not you like them. But you're going to know who they are and they're going to know who you are. And I think that's where I'm becoming protective, and they're not going to hurt you. They won't say a bad thing about you, because I know that's how our Father would have operated. As a very much so, this is what it is type of person. Take it or leave, but you don't disrespect it. It is what it is. And I've sort of taken that approach, making sure that I'm protecting your heart from feeling that rejection. That won't go well. Yeah. But everybody on our side of the family knows. I think all the cousins know now too. Out of them. So even though I don't say a lot to them, they know. And this is how I know they know. Couple ago was our father's birthday, and you commented, and I was very happy that you commented, because I wanted everyone
know
to.
If I should.
I put it out there. I wanted you to comment, because I had shared that picture of him in that red suit. Because that was the first one that popped up on my phone. And I was like, he gets the red suit too. And you commented. And I was so happy that you did, because it kind of left the door open and everybody starts inboxing me, texting me. What is this about? What's going on? I said, I told y'all. Like your brother had another child. And don't act surprised. I told y'all. They were like, that's her. I was like, that's her. I was like, befriend her. Tell her who you are. And they was like, well, I don't know if she wants. And I was like, she does want, a relationship, or at least be acknowledged. So it's going to come around. And I think once they actually see you and they can hear you, it'll become that much more real to them. But I bring you up in every conversation with that I possibly.
I agree with that. Because looking at you, I can see that gene of her father's side of the family to me, she actually looks like Grandma Cece. She really does. She favors Grandma Cece. I've been sitting here staring at you, Nate, for the longest time. I'm like, oh my goodness. So if somebody still doesn't want to acknowledge at this point, it's just because they just don't want to or ain't ready to. But I can clearly look at you and see that, yes, you guys
so let
are
me tell you,
siblings and part of that same family.
Tonight, I was like Grandma C.
Yes.
I was like, whew. The red lipstick, I was like,
I'm sitting here and I'm like, holy crap, did Grandma Cece come back? Hey, baby. Grandma Cece was my girl, man. But yes, you favor her a whole lot.
I'm going to send you a picture.
Please do.
Of her. But I'm going to send you this one picture of me and her. And if you hold it up to you, we all look alike. And that, you know which picture I'm talking? I have it's when I first cut my hair short.
Okay.
I'm going to send it to you tonight because I want you to take a look at it. Look like her. And I used to think I never looked like her.
It's eerie.
And in that picture, I was like, ooh, I look like Grandma Cece. You look like Grandma.
You could have been Grandma Cece's child. I mean, yeah, by looks, absolutely. Absolutely. So that gene, which when you meet them, you'll know that particular gene is very strong. It's dominant in their family, where they all have very similar features. Where you go, oh, a family, without
even when you walking down the street and you don't know who they are, and they scream out like my nickname is Pooh, and they be like, "Hey, Pooh," and I turn around, I be like, "Hey, cousin." Uncle? Yeah, because you look like my dad. That's all I could tell you. So yeah.
So how are you guys feeling about it today? I mean, did you guys feel like, ooh, definitely are. So are you guys similar in traits? You guys have some of the same habits or same likes and stuff. Can y'all want to explain that? Y'all want to expound on that? Nay, you want to take it?
No, you take it.
I know exactly which one I'm going with. So, our family. So, back up. Me and Nate already had our first little sister tiff. Like we already went through it. And I remember telling Hero, I was like, he was like, you haven't talked to your sister in a while. I was like, no, I think I did something. He was like, why do you think you did something? I was like, you're not returning my call. She's not returning my text message. I saw her on a couple of Facebook Lives and I commented. She didn't comment back. I was like, I either did something. And he was like, well, maybe she just busy. I said, I feel it in my heart that she holding a grudge. And I said, it's the cross between what happens with my brother and my aunts on my daddy's side. On her daddy's side, I said, it's like that. It's not as strong as how my brother do it, but it's not as light as how the aunts do it. But there's a grudge going on. And I said, I just got to wait. I can't rush this with her. Because it's a lot. We've done a lot in the last few months. It's a fast moving train. And I said, I just got to give her a moment, but I won't stop reaching out. Because once you know, you know.
So yeah. I'm gonna jump in for a second because it was pretty funny. So yeah, she's like, I don't know what I did. I don't know what's going on. And so that went on maybe for a week or so. But then that Jean kicked in, and she was like, "Yeah, I know she one of us now because." This is exactly what my brother would do, and everybody on his side of the family, my dad's side, that's how we do. And yeah, she does it too. Like she does.
But not to the people I really care about. Mm-mm.
No, that's a lie. We're not gonna lie on this show. It's the Urban Green Room. But me.
But you ain't blood.
Yep.
My husband.
Egghead. Your brother.
Yeah, I do it, but not the way he do it to me.
No, but it's there. That's all I'm saying is that it's there. Stop trying to deny it. No, we're not gonna let you sit here and act like you the angel of the whole family. Nah, we not today. We're not doing that. So you got that grudge gene. That's what I call it. I call it that grudge gene. It runs strong. It runs strong with y'all. What about you, Nay? What's the first one that comes to mind?
Exactly what she just said. It's like she was reaching out to me, and I was like, I said, I'm not calling her back. So when I finally called her back, I mean, I would get the text messages, and I was like, and even Kevin said, "You talked to your sister today?" And I'm like, "No," with a straight face, no. So then I was like, you know what?
Nah, hold on, Nate. It wasn't with a straight face because you did it. You did the same face she made when I asked her. Had you talked to your sister today? No. Yeah, just like that. But I'm sorry, I had to let you know it was not a straight face. Y'all make the same face when y'all do that.
Kevin kept on saying, you talked to your sister? I said, no, not today. He would ask me just about every day, you ain't talked to your sister? Oh, what? She ain't call you? I said, she called, but I ain't talked to her. So, then I started to think, I said, you know what? I said, I know she's been reaching out, and I know she's probably wondering why I haven't at least returned her phone calls. Then I was like, I'm going to get the courage one day, and I'm going to just call her, and I'm going to just tell her how I felt. And I was on my way home, and I was like, I'm going to make that call. For like a whole week, I said, I'm going to make that call. I'm going to make that call. Never made it. So as I'm driving home, I was like, you know what? As soon as I left work, I left out the door. I got in the car. I called her. And I told her, how I was feeling. And I told her, the reason why I hadn't returned her phone call. So, I guess for me, after all these years, it's like life is too short. We losing people day by day, night by night, hour by hour. So for me to be able to say I have a sister, it's a blessing. My father may not have known about me, but, I have to move past that and move forward. So I said, I'm going to call her. And I kept on saying it. So I just called her and, I just told her how I felt. And so we both, at the end of the conversation, we both started laughing because she was like, yeah, you one of the Dorseys. She said, because they hold them grudges. I said, yeah. I said, I might be because I can hold one for a long time and don't care. I said, until somebody breaks
even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
Won't even flinch. But I've noticed other similarities. So I'm going to tell you right now, even in the way you said that story, I heard Grandma Cece, I heard myself, and I heard 3 of our aunts. Just in the way
I hear Val.
You heard Val? I heard Grandma Cece. I heard Aunt Carmela, all of whom you'll meet. And once you meet them, you're going to be like, I ain't nothing like them. And I'm going to be like, we both are. And that's the funny part, because I'm like, don't say I'm like them. And you'd be like, yes, you are. I see where you get it from. Which are all great women on our father's side of the I think without us ever being around each other, we do have similar manners. I know we like a lot of the same thing.
Like what?
Okay, first of all, she done told me some tricks of the trade on fashion, and I'm forever thankful. So that's the first thing. So we both like to shop. We both
Sorry, Kevin.
like the fine. You said sorry, Kevin. We both like the finer things.
Sorry, Kevin.
We both like similar food. So like when
Now
she
wait a minute. When you say you both like the finer things, what are you saying? Are you saying y'all both have same bouginess level?
Yes. I am gonna say that. Because normally I would get offended, Nay, by that statement of his.
Oh.
No, not like that. Because I know I'm bougie. I already know that. But
I know that, but I don't want anybody telling me that because it's like I already know it. So don't tell me because I guess I don't act that way, but some people say you do.
Just for the record, when I said saying it very loving and joking with a wife, like
no. You know. I'm
just saying, and I said that for Kevin's sake because I wanted to say sorry, Kevin, again.
He put a ring on it, so
that's
Kevin
cute.
okay.
We get into that.
So, there's a lot that we have in common, and it just when I speak with Nay, I feel like I'm just talking, and we've known each other our whole life. That's how I feel. I'm just like,
that's what's up.
Did you try this? Did you do this? And she'll be like, girl, did you do this? You better download the app. And I find like I'm comfortable with her telling me what to do and giving me advice and direction. And it just seems normal. Like it just seems normal.
Where we at? So when's the big meeting? When's the final official physical meeting? Because that's how we're going to get into the next topic.
I wanted to come last year.
Oh, look at her. See, there you go. There goes some more of the mannerisms that y'all share. Look at that face. Look at
But it was COVID. It was COVID. It was too much. You want to tell them when we're going to meet? Tentatively, this is the date.
Is it in August or are you coming before then for the book or are you?
No.
Okay.
I think the book stuff has been canceled.
Okay.
Or is postponed to after August because they're trying to wait for everyone to get COVID shots and stuff to really open up.
Travel.
Yes. So, and it was scheduled for May. I don't think it's going to happen. So that would leave, I mean, I'm perfectly okay coming before. But tentatively, tell them when we're supposed to meet face to face.
August the 14th, which is, should I say it?
Yeah, go ahead and say it.
August the 14th, which is officially my wedding day.
Yeah. That's what's up. We gonna celebrate.
Yes.
I feel so blessed that she wants to. Because
Yep.
I'm like,
are we gonna get there before the wedding?
Yes.
Okay, Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I don't really.
Ooh.
I gotta share some tricks with him, man. What to do?
You know,
yes, ma'am.
So we So this is the fun part.
So now, okay, she's getting married. So you guys are sisters.
I've sort of been.
I was gonna ask.
Oh,
man,
go ahead.
But no, go ahead. You're just so excited.
I am.
Go ahead, mama. Do your thing.
Nay has been including me in on some of her wedding deals. Like, I went virtual dress shopping with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's big.
And
you know, dress shopping.
The pains of the dresses with you. Talking about the wedding. Because I really wish I lived closer. I wish I could help out and do whatever you need.
Well, just you being close by FaceTime, because you know some of them, and listening to my horror stories. Dress number 2 horror story. That was a disaster. But anyway, we got through that one. But just you being there to be able to say, you know, even if I tried on something, you say, no, that's not you. But that's not, you know, you let me show you things that I liked. So, you know, I appreciate that, because it's nothing like having like your daughter and your sister go with you dress shopping, you know, those special moments. You know, it's FaceTime technology. It's always good.
I was so excited when you asked me like to join. I literally was by the phone and I had just gotten over being sick. And I was like, I'm here. I'm up. Don't give me no medicine, because he was good for giving me medicine and knocked me out. I was like, sleepy. I'm not taking no medicine right now.
Knock her right out.
I am so looking for August. In fact, we're coming in on the 12th.
Yes.
And then we weren't leaving until that following.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'm coming, Kevin. I'm coming.
He's just happy to have a brother-in-law, let me tell you. He's just happy.
One that ain't gonna get funky on me.
Kevin is real quiet. He's real quiet though. Yeah,
we'll be fine. I'm good with quiet.
We'll pray for y'all. If he takes you out somewhere, we'll pray, because there's no telling where you'll end up at.
Hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for it all.
So, and this is another good part. I have a niece. I have an older niece, guys.
Oh, you know what? It's funny how when I first seen her picture and I put your picture side by side with your niece's picture, I said, wait a minute. I said, she look more like she do. That look like her child and mine. And I sent it to my cousin. My cousin said, girl, if that ain't your sister, she said, Amaya looks just like her. And I'm like, wow.
She is gorgeous. And to see, I was going to inbox her and be like, we got to catch up. What's your favorite purse? I was like, because I already know about the color of the car. I was like, I just buy you a purse to go with the car. But I have a niece. I have another niece, everyone. So I'm super excited about that. And then we got to share that she has a great niece. They has a great niece.
A new baby.
Yes. That she keeps saying we need to have one more grandchild.
Yeah, one more, at least a boy. Or I asked her if she was getting baby fever.
No. I told you it would be a miracle.
No, she ain't. She ain't.
Listen, when your youngest nephew is 21, be done. It will be a miracle, everyone. A pure miracle, and we will be on every talk show.
It'll be a nice payday, though.
It will be a nice payday.
So, no, we'll just wait on the grands. But I want to enjoy the girl first, because I've been dying for a little girl for the last 25 years.
Wow!
Because I can't stand them two. The two boys. I don't like them. I don't like them. I wanted a little girl for a long time.
The little girls, those are the ones that you spoil. They have on all the little cute outfits, little skirts and jeans, little purses. So yeah, that's fun. It's exciting. But when they start to get older, Jesus,
I don't want them when they get older though. So like when they turn like preteen, teenagers,
12.
They would have had to go to their mama. Can't handle that.
When they can't talk too good, when they like 1 and 2, yeah, up until they get to maybe 4. 4 is when they start talking and saying a lot. But 16 and up, goodness, I'll pray for you.
Now we're gonna pray for them.
Yeah, I'm praying for them because
daughter. So
it's fun. This has been nice.
Can I just say this? Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I was saying. I said I can't wait to meet you guys.
I know, face to face.
I'll be here soon.
I know. Don't talk it up though.
Are you counting down the days? Counting the days,
sorta. Because I was like, at first, I was like, okay, I got 6 months. I'm good. Then as time starts closing in, it's like, okay, next thing you know, April will be here. What, another 2 weeks? So yeah, it's getting real. Yeah, it's getting real.
So my sister's getting married, everybody. And we going. I cannot wait. I think I started dress shopping. So I was like, I don't know what to wear because your family's going to be there. And I'm like, we got to make a good impression. I don't know what to wear. So I've been like, I don't want to wear that. I want to wear that. I don't know about that. So no, I am so happy that you're here. Like, I think this is the perfect time for us to have found each other. Like, I can't think of a better COVID story to come out of all of this crazy than for me to find out that I have a sister. And this is the fun thing. All my coworkers know about you too. Because I couldn't hold it in. We were on a meeting one day and they were like, so how you doing? Like, what did you do this weekend? I was like, found out I got a sister. So that became the main topic of our conference call. And everyone asked, how's your sister doing? I'm like, she's doing good. So now it's all about you and the baby. They all want to know, how's your sister doing and how's the grandbaby? So I talk you up often.
That makes me feel relieved because at first I was feeling, I guess not rejected, but just the thought that, how can I say this? When because nobody knew about me. And I was like, well, the thought was like, okay, when they do find out about you, what are they going to say? Are they going to say this? Are they going to say that? Are they going to say, well, I think you should take another DNA test? Both, all kinds of thoughts. But, you make me feel welcome. You make me feel comfortable. Now, since we've gotten through that little since I've gotten through that little holding the grudge thing, now I know I can call and be like, you know what, this ain't working out. Now I know I can feel that comfort level to say, look, I'm gonna tell you like this, and this is how I'm just gonna tell you because I can't deal with, you just make me feel like I could be straightforward. Like I could tell you if I'm not feeling something that you're saying or something that you have said, just come out and say it, and vice versa. But we'll get through this. It's a journey that is exciting. Now is exciting because we chat a little more here and there. Even if we just text each other and say, "Hey, good morning," have a good day. Anything, just the communication. Instead of letting it be a long stretch in between times that we do talk. even if you just don't feel like texting and, you say, hey, I'm not feeling too good. And I think that was one of the reasons why I had gotten mad, is because when I had reached out to you, it was like, okay, no text, no response, no nothing. And I'm like, then I said, well, maybe she just don't want to be bothered anymore. Then a whole week would go past and I'm like, okay, something's not right with this picture. So then I kicked it back and I gave that same attitude. When she started getting better, I said, oh, okay. I said, two can play at that. I'm not calling her back either. But now we've gotten past that. Now we're good. Now we understand each other. That, hey, if you're doing something, I'm going to tell you. And if I'm doing something, if you say, look, I've called you several. See, I can feel comfortable with texting you now and just saying, look, I've texted you several times. At least you could do is call me back. So I'm at that level where I feel comfortable, even though we haven't met face to face, but just the comfortness of talking to you on the phone, we kind of understand each other a little more after that.
We do. And it was weird because I took for granted, like, when I get sick, everybody knows how I operate. I'm not touching a cell phone. I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, man down. I'm done. I'm probably high on medicine. I'm a weakling when it comes to medicine. And I took for granted that you knew that, like, because everybody else in my life knows that. And when I read your messages and heard your voicemail, I was like, she don't know. Like, and why would she? Like, we haven't gotten there yet. And I need to make this up. So I knew. I was like, she's mad at me. I did something. I know I did. It's probably that. But this is the fun thing. Like, we're still learning each other. And that was the first little tiff. I'm pretty sure there will be others. You just wait till we get together and we start traveling together and doing stuff. You're going to be like, you know what? You can't stay here for 5 days. You got a 3-day maximum with me. And I'm going to need to send you back home because you a little bossy. Or, whatever it is. Like, I don't know if I like when you do that. And I would be like, oh, okay. Because I don't like when you do that. Like, we're going to have those moments. But the fun thing is, like, you're my sister and you're not going nowhere. And you can have the Dorsey curse of the grudge. But one of us is going to wear each other down. That's how I see it now. Like, we're going to keep talking, to work through. We'll have fun and that's how I see it. Like, that's the blessing of having a sister. Instead of us together our whole lives, we're going to do the Golden Girl thing together.
Oh, Jesus.
So we're going to spend the remainder of our lives together. That's kind of cool to me. I get the grown-up version versus the one who would want to steal my clothes. Makeup.
Exactly. Oh, because I would have been all in your stuff.
I know. I'm looking at your clothes. You would have been.
All in your stuff.
Listen, I'd have came down and been like, I could have swore I packed my stuff and then see you on social media in it. I'd be hot. Yeah. I'd be like, she could have just asked for me. So, any other questions you have for us, Steve?
I'm good.
Oh, and another fun part about it is I actually have a brother-in-law.
Yeah, a good one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, good one. Got me a sister.
It's a good thing too for Kevin because Kevin is the only boy. So now when you guys come in town, now he has somebody, to take out, show you around DC. And when we come up there, you can show him. See, he's the only boy. Good thing. And see, they're about the same, very close in age. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to be fine. I'm coming, Kevin.
This will be fun.
Oh, it's going to be very interesting because when he meets Daryl, he will talk to him like he's known him for the last 15, 20 years. Like, I'll be literally, when we go out sometime, he could sit at the bar and start a conversation with somebody. And I'd be like, dude, do you know him? He'd be like, oh, no, he was just talking to me. So we just, I'm like, oh, I thought you knew him. He'd be like, no, I don't know him. I'm like, really? You talked to him for a whole hour while we sitting here? You don't know him? He was like, nah. We was just talking about sports. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm just sitting there looking at the TV myself, don't know what's going on, don't know nobody.
That's funny. We're going to be just fine then. But we'll get along.
And if we can make this happen before August, we certainly are.
Now, Daryl, I'm going to tell you this now. Mm-hmm. Don't let her back out and not come in August. Okay,
we're going to be there.
She going to really see the Dorsey grudge then. Okay?
No.
Yeah, it's going to be. I would not allow her to mess this up like that.
The tickets are already bought. I just haven't done our hotel, mainly because we have family that live, and I'm not quite sure the proximity. Mm-hmm. But we have family that lives in the area, so I'm not sure if we're staying with them or if we just want to do a hotel, and I think we just want to do but we are coming in August. That is
we're going to be there.
Can't wait.
So I'm excited.
It's 14th.
I know, right?
And my niece.
Yeah, she would show her face, but she's standing over here. But she said,
Maya.
Hi. She can hear you. She act like she's scared to come over this way.
You're not done up?
No.
All right.
She got pretty, pretty is pretty. On and some more.
Oh, we're going to get together.
Yeah, y'all too. Yeah, because when we get y'all too, I could send her down there with you guys. You said you wanted a girl, so here's another one for you.
I said not that old though.
But she laughed. She laughed. She's 19. They'll get along just fine. They can go shop, hop. That's her.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not about to do that. She's gonna have to stay.
You said the wrong words. You should have said she can come. And if we do a career development, I can help. You gotta say the key words.
Oh yeah.
As career development is also part of being a savvy shopper. So
it's not.
It is.
You have to dress to impress. So
yes,
maybe her auntie could teach her how to see. Look at him. He's looking at the ceiling. Why you don't say hi? Oh my goodness. Yeah, she's 19. She'll be 20 in November.
No.
She'll
be. Because the other nieces are too young. Well, they're not too young, but they're preteen.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing it.
No.
They pushing it.
If when you guys come to Buffalo, you get to meet all the nieces. Because there are a couple nieces that we have that are 19, 24.
Oh, wow.
Told you, big family.
They like rabbits.
Did you say we like rabbits?
Populate.
Stop it.
One have one. Next thing you know, it's 10 of them.
Oh,
it's multiply.
But that's how it is in my family, though. We have a large family too. It's like sections of us. Most of us, like my age, are no more than maybe 2-3 years apart. And then you have that next set, which is like my brother, my cousins. They're like 2-3 years apart. Then their kids are like the same. So it's some groups of them.
That's just how.
So I have to share this. by you taking the DNA and finding the rest of your family, you've inspired me. I shared with you that there's more of us out there. I'm certain of it. Just don't know where to look. I think I'm going to also do the test and put it out there, and hopefully it'll help us to find the rest of our siblings. Because I'm about 90%
that there's other.
There are more of us. And the sad thing is, are you doing it?
Yeah.
He doing
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
I believe.
Mom was my hero, folks.
Since our dad has been on for
2 maybe
20. Oh, because 22 years, right? 22 years. Been going
Listen
for
to
22.
me. Listen to me.
So our youngest
They don't listen either.
sibling could possibly be in their 20s.
I need to talk to Kevin and that. don't listen.
Next,
Thank you. Thank you. I don't think that's a sister thing. That's just a woman thing. But yes, there have been rumors that
that there
may have been one on the way when he passed. Oh yeah. The plot thickens, let's put it that way. So I'm pretty sure there's more. And I think through our journey, maybe we'll find the rest of our brothers.
This shall be interesting.
Yeah, it's getting real interesting.
Yeah, we might have a whole
First time
claim
hearing.
by the time we finish.
It was the 3rd of September. I told you.
So thank you. Thank you for joining us for the conversation.
Yes, thank
you
you
for
so
having
much,
me.
sister.
Thank you.
Yes.
This meant the world to me.
You
I'll
know,
be
I was a
smiling
little
all night.
nervous at
Thank you.
first. I was like, okay, am I really gonna do this? But you know, but when you asked me to join, I had been thinking about it. And I was like, I said, well, maybe I should ask her, does she want to do it? Then I said, nah. I said, if she wants me to do it again, I said, she'll say something. And this is like maybe a couple of weeks ago. So here we are.
Thank you for having the courage to share our story. And everybody else out there. I got a sister, y'all. And she is so beautiful.
Now I have an older sister. So when I come to your house,
Why you
I'm
guys saying that? Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got an older sister.
No, not older like that. I mean, we're not that much apart. We're not that far apart.
No, we not.
And that was
Only
a funny
what?
thing.
Like a few months?
I'm not going to tell y'all that part.
No, don't do that. We don't tell our ages. They don't need to know how old these beautiful women are.
No. Just know that we're not that far from each other.
We're not that far apart. It's like me and Zai. Same thing. So, this has been probably one of my favorite conversations in the Urban Green Room podcast. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm your girl AA.
Andy Lewis.
And that's my sister Nay, y'all. And this has been the Urban Green Room podcast, and we are out.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning into the Urban Green Room podcast. Let's keep the conversation going. Hit us up at urbangreenroom.net or on our Facebook or IG page.
I always follow them.
Tell us what you think about today's conversation. If there's a topic you want to discuss, let us know. And by all means, tell a friend. The Urban Green Room podcast, giving you something to talk about. Until next time, we out.